Hi, I'm Barinder from Mach7 Technologies, and today I'm going to talk to you about how Mach7 and AWS HealthImaging can enable you to provide imaging access throughout the enterprise using our eUnity viewer. So what this integration allows you to do is essentially treat an AWS data store as if it was just another data store. And it provides you with all the flexibility you need to do that without requiring you to sacrifice anything at the level of your end user experience or at the level of your workflows. So to illustrate this, I've set up a simplified example here where I have three data sources. A local data source, which you can think of as a data source that's specific to a site. You can have one, you can have multiple, depending on how many sites you have. An AWS cloud-only data source. Again, you can have one, you can have multiple, depending on your site's needs. And a combined local and AWS federated data source. So this one will federate across any data sources that are listed here. So by having the ability to use AWS as if it was just another data source, the same way you would a local data source, you can set up specific federation strategies for different user groups. For example, a radiologist needs to have access to images across the enterprise from multiple sites and from the long-term archive as well. So you can set up a federation strategy that provides them just that. A researcher, on the other hand, needs to only have access and should only have access to studies that are available on a research-specific data source. And again, you can permission them to only have results returned from that data source. In this way, you're able to implement an AWS data source into your workflow however you need it, and it will fulfill whatever use cases you want it to fulfill. Now, in this instance, I'm pulling from a local and an AWS data source. When I load a current study, it's going to pull it locally because that's the most performant data store. But I'll still have priors available from wherever they may be, including a cloud data store. If I do pull priors from a cloud data store, you'll notice that there's no sacrifice in performance. You'll get full diagnostic quality images and very snappy, very fast performance, regardless of where you're pulling that study from. So if I load a study directly from AWS, you can see that performance is very smooth, and this is a full quality diagnostic image. So this gives you complete flexibility in how you want to deploy your cloud solution. Do you want to just have this available as a long-term archive? That's fine. You can still give those users who need full diagnostic access the type of performance that they'd expect as if it was local. This would be the case if you have a mammographer, for example, who has to go back a decade or more into a patient's archive and have a study available to them immediately. On the other hand, you may have a situation where you want to actually enable remote reading of radiology studies. And you can see that based on this performance, you can have full confidence that this is not only possible, but that you can do this very efficiently and meet all of your KPIs. One of the other great advantages of the eUnity viewer is that it is a full zero footprint viewer. So that means this relies on client-side rendering. There is no need for a bulky rendering server between your users and the data that you have on the cloud. Because of that, you can take full advantage of the cloud's ability to give you a potentially unlimited scalability. As you scale, we scale. You don't have to worry about scaling out these additional servers. That wraps up my demo. Thank you for watching.